Morning, everybody.
Well, welcome to the Night Show. You're with Tom Brown and Steve, and this is NRL from the Sidelines.
I always think we should start the show about 3 minutes earlier.
Well, yeah, we shouldn't probably do that. I don't think that's true, because people will hear what they shouldn't hear. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Night Show. Brian, Tom, you okay? You
Yes.
well?
Yeah, all good.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't like this winner's circle anymore. We're not going to talk about that anymore. It's
He brought it up.
I love the
He
winner's
brought it
circle. I love the fact that I've been in the winner's circle more this year than last year.
Did you hear what Trent Barrett came out to say today?
It was yesterday.
Oh, yeah, he took credit for
He took credit.
Thanks, Cole.
the way they're going.
And you know what? I agree with him.
Oh, of course you do.
And I know exactly what it was. It's the garden furniture.
He
made all the difference.
built that team.
He built
so
it.
Should he get Coach of the Year for this year, not Des?
Well, let's send him to the Rabbitohs and see how he does there. I bet you'd love to have him.
No, we have our own furniture. We don't need him. It's all good. All good. Gentlemen,
Trent.
what a round of football it was this weekend. Round 20. It was some interesting results.
Some big scores.
Some big scores
blowout.
for this time of the year.
Yeah.
And,
Yes, some satisfying blowouts.
And with some teams who should not be having big blowouts at this time of year. But anyway, we'll get to that. Thursday night.
Which team would that be?
I'm talking about Broncos. I'm talking about
And
Newcastle.
can I just bring up too? You had a code that we wouldn't wear our team's colours,
Yeah,
so
I've
we
given
wouldn't
up on
seem
that.
to be biased, despite the fact that we were mugs with the team's names.
We have mugs, we have jerseys behind us. You always hold a Roosters pillow.
Yeah,
It's me. I'm the unbiased one.
not according
Let's
to Barry
get-
Economy.
No, Barry says I'm unbiased, but he also says you're unbiased, so he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, thank you. Because he says I'm biased,
Okay,
so he
well-
doesn't know what he's
Well,
talking
that's
about.
3 minutes we can't get back, so let's move on.
This is gold, this stuff. You want? Okay,
right.
let's go on. Let's start at Leichhardt over last week. West Tigers 28 over North Queensland 4.
Seems that's such a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Well, it was last Thursday.
Yes.
And you know what?
What?
The Cowboys had nothing.
Well, I told you last week they had nothing. No creativity.
Yep. I have never seen a team with that many good players in it be that clunky
Impotent.
and yeah, they were terrible. You know, passes out of dummy half going to ground and balls being dropped everywhere. It was
And balls being dropped in scoring opportunities.
If in the middle of the field, though, it didn't matter where they were. And we're talking about a team here where the majority of them played only 3 years ago in a grand final. Like,
Yeah.
we're not talking nufties.
Mm.
We're talking some really solid players. And the sad thing is for the Cowboys is that when Scott Bolton came on, he played well. He made a lot of meters. He was their most effective forward.
Yeah.
And he's going because he knows that he can't put in like he used to.
It seems the whole thing is revolving around Tamalolo. That's the whole drive forward.
Yep.
No one else seems to be able to get any meters. And
Yep.
I really feel. I mean, Tom, you put on the Facebook this week about underrated players.
Yes.
And I think Kyle Felt is
Oh, yeah.
probably the most underrated player.
Well, would you have him at your team
Yes.
would you have him?
Yeah, of course. I would.
Absolutely.
You know,
We'd all
but-
have him. He's a sensational player.
And his kickoffs. I mean,
Yep.
what he can
Yep.
do with
Yeah.
a kickoff is just astounding.
And he's in the air and he's just a
Good
player.
finisher.
Good finisher.
Yeah.
So, mind you, he did drop a ball on the weekend, but you know, I don't know what it is with the Cowboys. They had this prime opportunity to beat the Tigers, or at least to turn up against the Tigers,
Yeah.
Well, they needed to.
and they haven't won there since 2000.
So
Yeah.
Like a
Paul Green done.
Oh, I think he's
I
under
think
an
he's close to
enormous amount of pressure.
yeah.
I mean, the one of the let's just say something. Let's take nothing away from the Tigers. They were energetic and enthusiastic,
were.
and they
Ronnie
never
Farrow
looked
was
like
brilliant.
losing.
Yep. Yeah, Farrow was really
Right?
good.
I just want to put that out there for you Tigers fans out there. They were fantastic.
Yep.
You're saying Paul Green. So we all know with the salary cap and the way things work, everything goes in a big circle.
Yep.
And you've got to be an exceptionally talented manager to keep that circle continually going. You know, think at like a Craig Bellamy or a Wayne Bennett. These blokes at North Queensland, they look devoid of energy and effort.
Yeah.
And when they won that grand final, we all came in the next year and went, they lost no one.
Yeah.
You know, you've really got to make changes, even at that point. And I'm not talking wholesale changes, but start to move a couple of blokes on.
And their players are getting old.
But the one thing about that year they did win the grand final was we were all very surprised they kept winning leading up to the grand final.
Yep.
And then it was golden point in the grand final. So
Mm.
it wasn't like they were dominant throughout
No.
the final series.
No.
And then, took the grand final by the scruff of the neck and won it. They seemed to be lucky to get through.
Yep.
And it came out this week that someone said, and I can't remember who it was, maybe Gordon Tallis, suggested that it's no different to Michael Maguire at South. Won the grand final, a couple of years, were hanging around, and then Paul Green needs a change.
Yeah.
He needs to go to another club. He needs to find another something.
Dragons.
But even then, if you have a look, so two players that are absolutely killing it right now, Kikau over at Penrith,
Yep.
and Kalen Ponga, both North Queensland juniors.
Yes.
You know, like if you,
But
if
what? We could all look at juniors and say, gosh, we wish we'd kept them.
but let me just tell you, you don't let players of that caliber go.
Yeah.
Like that's quite surprising. I understand some, but those two are massive losses.
Yeah.
For sure.
Anyway,
The Tigers were good. They played for 80 minutes.
Yes.
Which I think was impressive.
Yeah.
And that's what Madge has been looking for.
Yeah.
Been looking for a tough, hard edge. They were really solid in defence, and they played for 80 minutes.
indeed.
Yeah, I was extremely impressed with the Tigers. Okay, so after that on Friday night was Canberra Raiders beating Warriors 46-12. This was 30-0 at halftime. The Warriors were terrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely pathetic.
And the Raiders' defence has just been on song all season, really.
Did you see Kearney's halftime
I didn't.
talk?
I didn't.
He blew up in the shed.
Oh yeah, he lost it.
Yeah,
Really?
he lost it big time. He was kicking towels all over the place.
Well, he's got a team that should be doing way better.
Way better.
Yeah.
So,
Tom's
What?
internet's hopeless.
sorry?
Tom's internet's hopeless.
So,
That was Tom's internet is hopeless.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
we're not arguing with you, Tom.
Yeah. Look. So what do we say? The Raiders the real deal?
I'm starting to think they are.
Yeah. But
Well,
really
this
are.
weekend will tell.
I know.
This weekend will tell.
Jeez, two of the top four could lose.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
two of the top four
Two-
will
two-
lose.
two-
yeah, we'll
They have
lose.
to lose. What am I talking about?
That's right.
I don't know. We don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. Like I don't know whether it was the Warriors were that bad or Canberra were just that good.
I think it's both. I think the Warriors were just on fire. The Raiders were just on fire, and Warriors just couldn't handle it. But
60% possession. I mean, they held the ball a lot.
Yeah, but 60% when you score 8 tries to 2 isn't a lot. Like it's not like
No.
they had a massive possession either. So who knows? For all those Raiders fans out there, just be quietly confident.
I think they're the Smokies. Seriously.
So do I. I think they can potentially win it. There's 4 teams that can win it this year.
Yeah.
Sadly, the Eagles aren't one of them.
The
Rabbitohs aren't one either.
The Rabbitohs aren't one, that's for sure. So who's your 4 teams then, Steve, that can win it?
Melbourne, South, Roosters and Raiders.
Right, we can take South out and put Manly in because you guys have got no hope.
Anyway, we get ahead of ourselves.
All right, yes, sorry.
Yeah. So so dominant performance by the Raiders.
So is it time to make changes at Warriors players? I'm not suggesting Steve.
They've got no one to change.
And they've got talented players. They
They've
just
got
have to
talent,
get them a boot up the backside
Yeah.
to get them to do something. I just don't
Yep.
get it.
I'm over talking about the Warriors. They just can't
Well,
put
we've
it
been
together.
having this conversation since we started this show, which was
Yep.
5 years ago, and nothing's changed.
You have a look at the talent, the Islander talent, from New Zealand and surrounds,
Yeah.
and they're representing a whole country,
Yeah.
and rugby league's a pretty simple game.
Would a second team in New Zealand make a difference?
I don't think they can support a second
I think
team.
it'd dilute the talent more.
Are they getting too many New Zealand players in the team?
Well, that's an interesting question. I don't think so. One of the things that we'll look at with successful clubs is the culture of the club, and the Warriors haven't appeared to be able to nail down what their culture is. I think that, but it's like it's when they came onto the field the other day, the start of the year, and when things went wrong, they all got in a huddle and they did the big deep breathing and stuff
They're still doing that.
Yeah, but that's what is that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, 2008, 9, 10, 11, when they got to the grand final, they had Ivan Cleary as the coach. They had Jimmy Maloney. They had Steve Price, I think.
Yes.
A lot of people with good work ethic.
Yes.
And they were able to get them going. But unfortunately, I think, you can't generalise completely, but it seems to be New Zealand, Islander players in New Zealand just don't seem to have that work ethic. I don't know whether it's just the culture of the area they live in. I don't know what it is, but they just don't seem to have that constant week after week after week work ethic.
I disagree with you too, because take those players and put them in other teams, and they seem to have it.
Well, that's precisely my point. It's not happening for in New Zealand.
Yeah, but that's the administration's issue. That's not a cultural issue.
But perhaps it's just the living culture that they live in outside the game. I don't know.
And the other thing that surprised me was this was at home for the Warriors. In
Not
front
that
of the home crowd.
That hasn't made any difference this year.
No.
They've been awful at home just as much.
All right, let's go on to Suncorp Stadium, where I've got to say, and I was very shocked by this one, with Melbourne beating the Broncos 40-4.
Yeah, Broncos had absolutely nothing in this game. Absolutely nothing.
They were pretty terrible.
That was shocking.
The Storm bounced back from their loss with a magnificence. They were dominant.
Yeah. And the Broncos probably thought they were going to get the Storm at a fatigue, with fatigue. But it was completely the opposite. They were, and their creativity at the moment is scary.
It was 18-0 at half-time.
Energy everywhere.
Yeah.
And it wasn't helped by Katoni Staggs kicking out in the full twice.
Yeah.
Wasn't it 3 times?
I don't know. It was at least twice anyway.
Yeah.
And the first kick off of the game, that's not a good omen for the game.
Yeah, but again, you'll make mistakes through the game that whether you do it at the first minute or whether you do it towards the end, you still have to be able to back up.
Yeah.
You still have to be able to defend.
But
they didn't do that.
But sometimes early in the game, you get a bit of a feel for where the team's at.
I mean, Anthony Seibold has lost 5 major players this year.
By choice.
By choice, yeah. Well, 2 of them were already gone by the time he got there.
Right.
So, yeah.
But he's on a clean out, and he's looking forward. I mean, he's got a solid 5-year contract.
Yeah, I know. But the clean out is cleaning out a team that made the semis last year, by the way.
Oh yeah, but they've been perennial bridesmaids.
Yeah, sure, but really, do you clean them out or do you just add some strength to it?
They've been trying to add the last few years, and they've been bridesmaids every year. I think they needed somebody to come in and shake things up a bit, and I think that's what he's doing. Could take them a couple of years before they get there.
The best suggestion I heard for them was they should have picked up the phone and rung Maloney and said, "Get up here, we want you for 2 years.
Yeah,
pay you whatever."
Yeah, well, he's a winner.
Yeah, he does, and
Jimmy
he's
wins.
done that at every team he's been at. So why?
Well, those not so great at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with the Broncos.
So Melbourne.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, look.
Seriously, do we think
creativity.
Anybody could beat them this year?
Oh yeah, we
somebody
can beat them.
We
do. They only lost the week before, remember?
Yeah, and
but
we beat them once, and should have beaten them the second time. Look, they're beatable. But look, when they get on a roll,
really, he just wants to know whether South next week can beat them.
Oh, it's this Sunday.
Yeah, and they won't.
Listen, I will be backing South all the way to beat Melbourne.
Of course you will.
But I would not put a cent on it.
Yes. So,
and the other sad thing, Christian Welch, ACL.
I like him.
He missed 2017 grand final because of injury, and now he's going to miss the opportunity for them to play another one. Which is really tragic, I think.
Now, I was worried for the Storm, like that game before, the week before against Manly. I thought that's got to have taken energy out. When they've come out and had a 36-point win, I thought that's impressive.
Oh yeah,
they didn't lose any energy.
And the thing too, they weren't relying on one particular player, one side. They were all over the park. They were running circles around Brisbane. And they're scoring from all different angles, That shows a scary team that has lots and lots of creativity, Yeah.
I agree. All right, excuse me. Let's go on to Saturday afternoon at Lotto Land, where the Sea Eagles beat Newcastle Knights 30-6.
And I think early in the game it was reasonably close, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
6-8, something like that.
Yeah, even I can't remember what the half-time score was, but I tell you, I thought that was a danger game for Manly. I think Manly scored as many points as the commentators said fatigue.
Yeah.
But look, I thought that was a tremendous effort, because you don't. There's been many articles written about the winning percentages after you play Melbourne are extremely low.
Mm-hmm.
Newcastle had it all to play for, and they just couldn't get into the game.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, their confidence is just nowhere at the moment.
Yeah, I look.
'Cause
By half time, I was thinking it's tight. Then Manly have come out and scored again, and I thought, you know what? I think we've got this.
Mm-hmm.
And Newcastle just fell away in the second half. It might have something to do with confidence of Newcastle. Who knows?
Clearly, there's a lot of unhappiness there because, Ramian's gone. Just basically told on the field, don't come back. If you don't want to be here, then see you later.
Which I think is a brave move by Nathan Brown to do that, and I respect that. I must admit.
Well, he's on a contract that can be severed at any time.
Yeah.
You know?
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, well, that's
he
why they
signed a
told him.
contract that said, basically, if I'm not performing, you get rid of me, and I'll go.
Wow.
Well, I'm not going to ask for anything. Yeah, so risky.
Yeah, but good choice. I mean, if you've got a player who's not, who seems to be disgruntled, doesn't want to be there, who's being shopped around by, his father, as reported in the
Jesse
papers.
Raymond.
Yeah.
And let me put this to bed now. I cannot believe that there are rumours that the Roosters want him. I mean, we've got so many backs, but it makes no logical sense that we would even be looking at him.
Of course it does.
We've got so many up and coming backs.
Well, you've only got a couple of internationals in reserve grade. Just chuck
That's right.
Ramian in there as well.
You need more internationals in reserve.
Sounds like you should go back to Cronulla.
No, you should go back. He should come back home.
Well, apparently,
Jesse, come back home. We'll have
another
you
Manly
back.
junior.
Yeah.
Kidding.
speaking of juniors that you shouldn't have got rid of.
Which one this time?
Yeah. Apparently Melbourne are interested in him as well.
Yeah. Well, that's the last thing I want.
Yeah. No, Melbourne have. I read today Melbourne have dropped off.
Okay.
But look, even if he was to come back to Manly, I don't know where he'd fit in at the moment.
Yeah.
Already we've got, Manly have got Brad Parker's playing well. Moses Sully's finally making an impact.
Actually, he's playing very well.
And Dylan Walker is another centre who we've got playing at 5'8".
Yeah.
So I don't know where we'd fit Jesse Ramian in.
So Tom, I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ignore what he says. Are Manly the real deal?
Look, I think they were dominant this weekend without being spectacular. You got anybody who beats Melbourne in Melbourne has got some credentials. There's no doubt about that. Will they be able to continue that for the next 5 or 6 weeks? Who knows? I don't know. If I compare them to Raiders, I don't think they've got the same credentials as the Raiders at the moment. I think the Raiders are the real deal.
Oh, please.
Do you feel that Manly have played their grand finals?
No, not necessarily.
Peaked too early?
I'm uncertain about the
From a
Raiders.
South supporter.
I'm uncertain about Manly at the moment. I think they're a very, very good team. Are they in that top 3-4? Don't know.
Oh, yeah, but we've beaten the top 3 or 4, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Only once.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to Bankwest Stadium, where another surprising result.
Yeah.
The Bulldogs beat the Panthers 16-8.
Well-deserved victory.
Oh, well deserved. They were
I
very
hated the fact they won because I
Yeah,
played my
did-
Joker this week, and that
Yes,
would have
I
been
know.
my perfect Joker round.
Oh, I'm glad they won because a lot of people played their Joker this week.
I still to play mine.
8 more points I would have got. Never mind.
Yeah. Last week when the Panthers played the Raiders, I considered. I didn't pick the Panthers because I thought that without Kickow, Panthers lack strike.
Yep.
He wasn't playing, but I thought surely the Dogs would win. I mean, the Panthers would win. The Dogs are a stone motherless last.
Yeah.
Surely the Panthers will get up.
Yeah. Well, we all thought that.
My goodness.
I kept thinking throughout the game that Penrith would come back to the end, but they just had nothing. They were able to throw nothing at the Dogs.
They looked like the Panthers of the first 8 weeks of.
There were so many tackles. The Panthers.
47 to 16 tackles in the opposition half. 20.
And yet they could score one try.
Yeah, it was like the
That's woeful. Absolutely woeful.
And the Panthers are in trouble for this week too.
Yeah, tripping. James Maloney.
So they're about to have no halves for this next week.
Clear injured.
Clear is in, but what's his name? Luai and Dylan Edwards are both out, and Maloney may well be out after tonight's judiciary.
He'll get a fine, I reckon.
Could be bad.
Yeah, he'll get a fine.
Yeah, and their record with Maloney is better than without.
So,
for sure.
So what do we say? What do we say about the Dogs then? You know, really, is Dean Pay finally onto something? Have the players finally bought into what he's doing there?
I think so. I actually think that he's got a lot of young players, and I think he's building a culture, and the culture is the old Dogs of Wars. You know, they don't have the talent, but I think he's building that defensive mindset. I've been really impressed with them the last few weeks. I mean, I feel better about our 20-12 win against the Dogs last week, considering how well they've played.
Yep.
I
mean, the funny thing is, if you have a look at the Bulldogs team that beat the Panthers, you've got Dallin at the back. Now, he's current New Zealand captain.
Yeah.
Nick Meaney certainly doesn't give anything away. Will Hopper-Whitey. I'm a big fan of Cogger and Lewis. I know they're only young.
Yeah.
You know,
Tolman's had a really good year this year.
You know, Michael Leica, I know he's not re-signed for next year. He's killing it in reserve grade.
Yep.
You know, Dylan Napa,
he's been all right. He's been
played State of Origin. You know, Josh Jackson, Corey who thank you,
Yeah.
Adam Elliott. It's not bad. It's just that one or two players, big name players, out of being you know, really successful. So beware the Dogs.
And I think we have to stop judging the Dogs on a week-to-week basis. You know, they lose a week or two, and then we say, well, Dean Pay probably is going to go. Then they win, and we say, well, geez, isn't he doing well? If anybody is on a rebuild, it's the Dogs.
Yeah.
And I think you've just got to give him time.
Yeah, I think he's proven himself the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Do what he has to do.
Yep.
And give him the 2 years and just stop talking about being replaced.
And they know they can't buy anybody for another year.
That's right.
At least another season.
Except for maybe Appy.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. You're crazy to lose Appy, but...
Yeah, can I just say that on that Manly game, you know, as soon as Appy came off, Manly looked dangerous in attack. He played the first 30 minutes.
I'm sorry, what did you win by? 30-6?
Yeah, Mancy was the hooker in the second half when we put on all the points.
Yeah, but only because Appy had beaten them down.
I'm just worried about where he's at the moment. Don't get me wrong, he's a very, very good hooker.
Yeah.
I don't want to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Anyway, but give me one of the two. I know which one I'm going to take.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to Bet Stadium, which is where I don't want to go.
Shark Park. Yes.
Cronulla Sharks 39 narrowly defeated South Sydney 24.
Delusional, isn't he?
Narrowly.
Scores that shouldn't happen.
And they kicked a field goal for good measure in the last 20 seconds.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Just to show they could.
Wade Graham back. They're
Yeah.
a different team with Wade
Yeah,
Graham.
they are.
Yeah,
And
and
I'm
Matt
going to say
Moylan.
And Matt Moylan.
Yeah.
the Sharks were by far the better team on the night. By
yep.
far.
There's no question about that.
South dropped too much ball, gave away too many penalties.
They're stuttering.
Yeah.
They're stuttering.
No.
They are stuttering.
Where's Steve at? This can't be Steve.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you where Steve's at. And he's at the judiciary tonight, standing up for Sam.
Oh, you're kidding.
The guy, honestly, here we go. He hits him a little bit high and clips his chin. That's all it's done.
Well, hits him high, clips his chin. Right.
So he didn't.
Okay.
There was
It
a
was the
tackle.
wrapping motion that did all the damage.
Sorry?
It was the wrapping motion that did all the damage.
Well, that's a tackle.
not
what we
not
expect.
when you hit them
He
high.
didn't hit him high, he hit him in the chin. Now, hang on. Okay, hang on. He went down. Okay? Did not come
that's
off
so
for
funny.
13 minutes for HIA.
And that's not Sam's or Matt Moylan's fault.
No. But did come back on straight after.
Yeah,
So seriously, tell me how much damage was done.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You can't.
There's a tackle in the St George Parramatta game where the guy was hit fair across the head and it didn't even get a penalty.
Yep.
This is Sam. Because
Well,
it's
no.
Sam.
I'll tell you that you can't. It's because the inconsistency is frustrating you. I get that. And in the Parramatta St George game, I think it was it Kane Evans who was sin bin?
Yes.
Because a bloke ran into him.
He ran into his chest.
Ran into his
Ah,
And
chest.
he got sin
And
bin.
he got sin bin.
I know.
I get
Yeah.
the frustrations,
But
but that was high.
It
was high.
No, I'll agree it was high.
He deserves
But it
deserves
was
some
chin
time
high,
off.
It was not head high, and I think the fact is that it's Sam that gave it the worst penalty.
Well, the coach
Tom.
ripped into Sam.
Is your chin on your head?
No. Oh well, it's
Well,
part
so-
of my head.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
You know what I mean.
Steve's isn't.
Honestly, it was a good tackle.
No, it
They
wasn't.
went a little bit wrong.
And he should get a little bit of a suspension, not
Yeah,
a
but he
big one.
hasn't.
Yeah.
He's had to plead guilty for it, and they're trying to get it downgraded.
And that won't happen. He's getting 2 weeks.
Well, I tell you what, if they show half the tackles that would happen this weekend that weren't penalised or were just
For the week before.
penalised and nothing happened, then they should. This has been Sam is now being picked on.
Yeah, well, if he wasn't a grub, he could have taken the early.
Did you bring your violin with you?
Well, I'm thinking if he wasn't a grub, if he pleaded guilty and got the early plea with no carryover
But
points, he would have got off.
Let's
But
understand.
no, he's got a long history
So,
of
what do we like
putting
about-
blokes in the
The
head.
Sharks.
The Sharks,
Right.
Sharks were very good. Souths were
Let's
very
get on
poor.
with talking about the football.
I like that better.
So,
I thought Dugan had one of his best games for a while.
yeah.
Oh,
thought he
dude,
was really
it's
good.
been good in patches.
He has,
Mm.
but I thought he was more consistent this week. Even Sean Johnson had a pretty decent game.
Yeah.
Wade Graham is sensational, isn't he? I mean,
Yeah.
he just,
What do you say,
he's just got a football nous that you just can't teach. You know,
Yep.
he's just got an instinct in
Yep.
him, and he's terrific. Yeah.
So,
Very good.
Look, and Souths were very poor. They dropped a lot of ball. I mean,
Yep.
Reynolds, Cody Walker, I think John Sutton dropped one. They all seemed it just.
But
their
I think
heads
from
weren't
the
there.
very outset, the first couple of minutes, you could see that the Sharks had energy. They were on.
Yeah.
They were fast play the balls. They were in your face the whole time. They were the typical brawlers. You know,
Yeah.
the typical Sharks brawlers, and you just weren't ready for it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, disappointing for you.
The way it goes. Okay, let's go to Sydney Cricket Ground where the Sydney Roosters narrowly beat Gold Coast Titans by 58 points to 6.
Yes, that's pretty impressive. Are
Why?
you going to say it?
No, because you're playing the
Are
Titans.
you going to say it? Yes. Okay, so I've got some stats
Oh,
here. I
it's
knew
got
you'd say
some
that.
stats,
I knew
okay.
you'd say that. Round 3, Rabbitohs 28-20 against the Titans. Round 11, Eagles 18-36 against the Titans. Round 15, Eagles 30-12 against the Titans. So you want to talk about your teams and
Well, hang on.
you play who's in front
Are
of
you
you.
saying that?
I'm saying you're saying it's
Did
just
you
the
beat
Titans.
Melbourne
Well,
the
you
last
didn't beat
time we played
Melbourne. We got lost by 2 points.
Well, he beat them by 1 point.
Yeah, that's got nothing to do with you. You're
Well,
talking
hang on.
about the Titans.
That's the same argument.
No, you're saying the Titans. Okay. So it's
Oh,
just
on your
the
side
Titans.
this time, Steve.
It's the same argument. It's exactly the same.
Anyway,
You
the
can't
point
take
is-
week by week.
You score 58 points, you score 58 points. It's
Yeah, no.
pretty decent.
It is, and,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of fun if your team.
And yes, it's a training run. You're right. They were awful. The Titans are awful, but the Roosters took their opportunities and they looked damn good when they had the opportunity. Look, play against Raiders, you play against Melbourne. You're not going to get those opportunities.
Yep.
But they took them and they looked really good when they took them.
Can I just say, after Morris scored his second,
Mm.
I just gave up.
Yeah.
I turned it off.
Yeah. Oh no, I didn't know. I loved it. It was
Yeah.
great
Like,
to watch.
I'm surprised by how poor the Titans
Oh yeah,
were.
they were woeful.
Because, so new coach announced, obviously that means there's a bit of instability amongst the playing group.
But then
and,
sometimes
you've got
it
to come
works
out
in the opposite way.
Well, I've not. That's stunning.
I think this is the first time you're right. This is the first time I've noticed a team that loses its coach, gets the new one announced, where they're going even worse than before when the coach was.
And they went way worse.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
Mate.
embarrassing, and it was embarrassing. There's a couple of players in there who are very, very good players.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of very good
And I
players.
don't understand where
Ash
their
Taylor
heads are.
didn't get any better. I mean, he didn't offer anything.
No.
After he's had 2 months off, there was humiliating. There's no doubt about that. Latrell Mitchell's kicked 9 out of 10 from really difficult angles at times. His kicking is just going from strength to strength. Scored 2 tries.
Morris scored 3,
Three.
which put him into the top 10.
Top 10, just fantastic. Cronk finally scored his 100th try, which is great. That's been coming for weeks and weeks and weeks. And Sam Verrills, right in the very last few seconds, who's played hooker for 3 games, scored a try, and he had to work to get it. So, look, I got no illusions. We played the Titans. The team at the bottom had nothing. But when you put a score on 58 points, you've got to be happy.
No,
You know.
I would be.
Yeah. And it was one of those weeks where there were big blowouts, you know.
Mm.
Wasn't expecting that.
So poor Gold Coast Titans, where are they at?
Oh, look, they should shut up shop for the rest of the year. Seriously, it's just going to be more and more humiliation. I think the Raiders, or do you play them twice this year?
Who?
Some team plays them twice this year, last game and playing this week. Whoever's
All right.
playing this week
Okay.
plays them again.
Oh, wow.
Good
Wish.
for Foreign again.
Well, that's
Wow.
St George who plays them this coming week.
Is
Oh,
it
St
okay?
George can have a
They're playing
win.
them twice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not going to make any difference.
All right, let's go on to Netstrata Jubilee Stadium where the Parramatta Eels beat St George 12-4.
I guess you guys tipped the Dragons, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. No, I was giving the Eels a chance.
No, I think I went Parramatta.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, look, Parramatta have been really good at Bank West, and everywhere else they've been
Yeah.
pretty average. And Dragons, that was it. This was season on the line game.
For the Dragons.
I think last
Yeah.
week was season.
No. I was prepared to give them this week.
But once you start talking about mathematical chances, they haven't got a hope.
Either way, I was prepared to give them this week, and they let me down.
Can you look in the camera and tell Barry that?
Barry, they let me down. They serious. I won't be picking them again unless they're playing the Gold Coast, because that's how bad they are.
Well, they are
Wait,
playing.
They are-
the
they are-
the picking them.
Yeah.
They are seriously the second worst team in the comp.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Oh, that's
Go
a
on.
brave, that's a brave statement.
All right, who are they? Who's better than who else are they worse than?
Cowboys.
Maybe.
Jeez,
Maybe.
maybe. Yeah, that's a maybe. Equal.
But again, you look at the St George team, and I tell you, if on paper, they have a really good team.
Yeah, on paper, 85% of them would be in first grade of the
That's
clubs. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Sorry, I love Mary, but I reckon I think he's the root of the problem, unfortunately.
Yeah, how long's he been coaching the Dragons for, Steve?
4,
Mary?
5, 6 years.
I don't know. I would have said probably 3
No,
Yeah.
more than that.
This is his 8th year.
Really?
as coach.
8th
Hey?
year.
No,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
And he's just been extended for
And
2.
it's just been extended for 2. I heard it today and I went, no, surely it's only been 3 or 4 years.
So
it
you're
must have
saying
been-
he took over after
It was Bennett, then
Bennett?
was Price, then it was Mary. Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
That is absolutely stunning. Because I keep thinking the Dragons are in rebuild. They've got a good team. Mary's just got to put it together.
Yeah. Nope.
yeah. 8 years.
And unfortunately, Ben Hunt just continues to disappoint.
Yep. Yeah. He's
Did Gareth Widdop
I don't know.
actually play in that game?
Yes.
Because I didn't see him either.
Well, I didn't see. It was just disappointing.
Yeah.
There's
So
no
let's-
other words for it.
So let's talk about Parramatta.
Well, I think they were disappointing too. They beat a very, very poor team.
Yeah.
And they struggled.
Well, they're just making up the numbers in the 8.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. They ground out a win. It wasn't an impressive win.
I'll say it again. That young 5'8" halfback they've got, Dylan Brown. Man, when he gets the ball, things happen.
What's a pace, isn't he?
Like he's got the ability to get the ball away, cut through the line, scoot around. He's a big point of difference for Parramatta.
I want to bring up James Graham. James Graham is a wholehearted player, does everything and does it week after week after week after week.
Yep.
That was his 400th
game.
And they didn't make anything of
Didn't
it.
make nothing of it. Now,
Yep.
I get 200 and something of them were for Super League.
Yeah.
Still.
But still, why wouldn't you say... And everybody likes James Graham. Everyone thinks he's a great player. Everyone, likes his personality. And
Yeah,
yet
we
he would
think-
make nothing of the fact that this guy's played 400 games. Same as Cameron Smith.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's not the same league, but
No, but it's
but
still...
he's played 400 times
Yeah.
for 80. Well, he's played on. He's been on the
Pretty
field
much
400
80 minutes,
times.
yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I think more should have been made out of it.
I think that's disappointing. I really do. From an NRL point of view, we had an opportunity to promote someone else who's a warrior of the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Forget about the fact it's just Australia or just Super League.
Yep.
Is a warrior of the game, and we should have promoted it.
Yeah, I don't like that just Super League because there's still blokes out there who are willing to put their bodies on the line and really hurt you if they get you.
Yeah.
And he's come through all of that.
Sure.
You know,
Sure.
I don't know. Yeah, I thought it was worth more than a gloss over of nothing.
There was a sign on the hill this week. Fail Mary.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a telling statement.
All right. Well, look, this is the last game, so I've got a question. Should fans be able to influence clubs like that?
Is this a question without notice?
It is. It's actually
Well-
without notice because I've been thinking about this over the last week.
Well, the answer is yes,
Why?
because I'm a member, and I pay money every week,
Mhm.
every year to support the club. I put money, and I'm not a St George supporter, but I'm saying as a
Yeah.
fan.
You're entitled to an opinion about it.
I pay money for jerseys. I support.
Mm.
Why
But-
shouldn't I don't think I should have personally. I think I have a right to say what what I'm not happy with.
Interesting.
Why?
Yeah, because you don't have a vote on the board
No,
that
I don't
selects
have a vote on
the
the board,
coach or whatever.
but to
you
have
have a
a
right
sign-
to say.
See, I think what the supporters of St George fail to understand is that's demoralising for the team. To have have your own fans standing up there saying, sack the coach, oust, as they used to have, get rid of Ben Hunt. That's demoralising for the team. I think there's a way to say it without doing it that way.
Interesting.
Well, but I would think that with the Dragons, with all the difficulty they've had, they've been through those channels. I think they've been to the forums, they've complained to the management, they've gotten nowhere, and it's finally come to this. I think it's very sadly. I think.
Yeah, look, I say that because there's been a lot of, and it's not only about the coach, it's about players as well. You jump on a fan forum, and there's polls about which players to boot and who to buy in, and I'm just wondering, realistically, we know so little about what's happening at the club and how it's all working. Do we really have the right to say it? And don't get me wrong, I'm a member of my club as well.
Yep.
And I think that entitles me, when they ask the question, to certainly put a voice forward. But for me, at the moment, it's, Appy and Appy Coruscant. There's fan polls. Yes, let's get rid of Appy to keep Nancy. I'm just going, come on.
Yeah.
The bloke, is bleeding maroon and white. He held us together over the last 2 years. I don't,
some of those fan polls are just stupid.
I don't want that to happen. And I look at this Dragons situation, and you think, I think the fans have a right to be angry because the team is performing so poorly. In saying that, I don't think take the Bulldogs on the other hand. There's a big supporter group that want to get rid of Dean Pay. But like you're saying, they're competing 80 minutes every week.
Yeah.
Correct.
Just because he doesn't have the players available, but you know that if your team is playing the Bulldogs, there's going to be effort there for 80 minutes, and if you win, it's going to be a win. It's going to be a hard win.
Yeah.
The Dragons, mate, they could show up. They could show up next week and blow Melbourne off the park, and then show up and lose to the Gold Coast. You just don't know what you're going to get. They're terrible.
The fans on Facebook, though, sometimes, I see it in the Roosters fan pages, sometimes they'll have one bad game or they'll underperform or something, and you get 20, 30 people just bagging them and saying, our season's over, etc., etc.
No.
They're stupid fringe.
Yeah.
But I also do believe that fans, as you said, have a right to say something. Whether it influences the club is up to the club.
That's right.
You know, if club is going to say, well, we don't care what you think, we're in charge.
Yep.
Then there's a fine balance between listening to your fan base and being responsible to your board or whatever it is, or you know.
Yeah, and because at the end of the day, I don't know what decisions are being made because I'm not on the board.
Yeah.
And I tell you what,
I think
honestly,
that's where I'm
Shane
at, yeah.
Richardson has a hell of a lot more experience in this stuff than I do. So, yeah, I'd like to have a say, but
Yeah.
Well, you get to have
I
a say if you
should be
go to
able
the
to influence
fan forum and the members forum and you get to vote.
yeah.
You know,
Oh man, I'd love to be running a
the
club.
board. But once you vote the board in, it's up to them to choose the coach. It's
And
up to them to pick the
And as
players.
supporters, we have to support the board that
Correct.
we have in place, or vote them out.
Correct.
Yep.
Okay, who wants to do the
My
ladder?
turn.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, Melbourne Storm continue 6 points ahead of 3 teams, and the Roosters have found their way from 4th position back up to 2nd. Yay! The Raiders closely following behind, and the Rabbitohs all on percentage difference. The Seagulls sit just outside the 5, 2 points behind, 4, sorry, in 5th position on 26. The Eels alone on 24 with a 4-gap margin to 3 teams. Sharks in 7th, the West Tigers in 8th, and the Panthers in 9th on 20 points. The Broncos, because of a draw this year, on 19. The Knights at 18 points. The Warriors 17 points. Cowboys 13th on 16. The Dragons and the Bulldogs on 14 points, 14th and 15th. And the lowly Titans on 10 points.
Okay, so last week we talked about who's not now able to make the 8.
Yep.
We said no to Titans, no to Canterbury, no to St George, no to North Queensland. Warriors gone?
Yeah, I mean, theoretically, mathematically, they could make it, but there's no way they're going to play well enough to win. To get into the
that may be the case.
Yep.
So they play Manly this week.
Yep.
They win, they go to 19 points.
Yep.
Yep. That's 1 point out of the 8.
Yeah.
So where is 8th spot this year? 26 points, 28 points? Because there's only 5 games to go. The best we can do for 8th is 30 points.
I'm thinking 26.
Like I said, the thing you always got to keep in mind is mathematically the Warriors can make it, but look who's above them. And are those teams going to, teams in 6th, 7th and 8th, are they going to lose enough games for the Warriors to get above them?
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think it can happen.
Okay. Very quickly, I had a couple of things I want to talk about at the break, but we haven't got time. So, Justin Holbrook.
Yep.
Good decision for him, bad decision for him. What's he coming into?
Well, that's right. I hope the expectations of the fans are low. I'll tell you one thing that does annoy me about that Justin Holbrook situation. There's 5 weeks to go to the end of the season. Gold Coast have the Australian coach sitting on their staff, and he didn't put up his hand to coach them.
Are you surprised?
You mean for the last 4 or 5 weeks?
Yeah.
But then you think about but
Come on,
Melbourne,
that's reputation enhancement.
But
That's
has Melbourne ever been a hands-on coach?
Yeah, but
I don't think he ever has.
See, but still,
He surrounds himself with assistant coaches who do the coaching. He does the motivational stuff.
that actually, I think that shows a lot about the club. That even someone who's employed at the club and who has a coaching record that, let's face it, we'd be pretty envious of.
Yeah.
So we were talking before that Phil Gould came out and said what this week?
Yep, sack them all. Well, apart from
Keep
3.
3 players.
Keep 3 players.
I don't know which 3. Did he say which 3?
It'd have to be Arrow, Wallace, and Brimstone.
Wallace is a liability
Not
sometimes.
Not Wallace. Who's the one who's broken at the moment?
Arrow.
Joe Arrow.
No, there's another one that's broken.
Oh, James. Ryan James.
Ryan James, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Ryan James, yeah. It'd
And
have to be those 3.
Brimson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd keep those 3 for
There's
sure.
There's a few more I'd keep, but
Oh, look, you can't sack everyone, but I get that you're right. The sentiment of that comment was they need a big fat broom and it needs to go through the club quickly.
And I did post this week about players who you thought would do really well in another team.
Yeah.
Anthony Don, I think he's getting older, but I think you put Anthony Don in the Roosters, he'd be scoring a hell of a lot more tries.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You put him in Manly, he'd be scoring a hell
how did our
of a
poll
lot.
go, by the way? Our fullbacks poll.
I think Tommy worked.
Tommy
won, didn't he? Yeah.
No surprise.
They have a right to be wrong.
Actually, it was a surprise, to be honest with you. Okay.
All
Jeremy,
right.
He got all his family deposed.
I did not.
let's go on to round 21. We are getting to the pointy end of the season.
Yes.
5 weeks to go.
Pointy end, my team up there.
And on Thursday night, it is a Queensland derby with North Queensland against the Broncos at
goodness.
1300 Smiles
Wow.
Stadium.
This is terrible versus bad. This is really not good.
2 years ago, this was the best game of the round.
Oh yeah, there was
And
always
you couldn't separate them by more than a point.
look, I think the Broncos will win this narrowly. The fact that it's at North Queensland makes me a little anxious about it, but I think the Broncos have got more to play for than the Cowboys, and I think the Broncos have got more ability than the Cowboys at the moment.
Yeah, I'm actually leaning the other way. I'm leaning because it's in North Queensland. They can't be as bad again.
Can the Broncos be as bad again?
No, I don't think so.
No,
So you're going North Queensland? You're going Broncos?
Yeah, only because it's at home, yeah.
And you're going Broncos.
Yeah, of course. He's a Broncos supporter.
Yeah, he didn't even seem to say it. He knows.
I'm just sick of arguing the point. Okay, Friday night, Mount Smart Stadium, the Warriors against the Manly Sea Eagles.
Is it the ambush factor?
No. The Warriors have got nothing. After this week, I will concede they cannot make the 8. They will have to play out of their skins to win.
Yeah, the Eagles.
Manly have a great record over there. We've already beaten them in Christchurch. Bring it on.
What do you reckon they're going to win by?
No, it'll be closer. It'll be closer than their game against the camp of the Raiders. That's for sure.
Okay. Can I ask if they don't win by more than 10, please?
Well, I'm thinking we'll win by 12.
He's getting desperate now.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry. We'll win by 12.
Well, actually, no. What's the points difference?
13.
13.
Last week I was sweating on us winning by 18. We won by 52.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. So everybody's going Manly?
Yes.
Oh, look at the hater wants to go. The hater wants to go. He wants to go the
Box of
Warriors.
chocolates.
Okay, Panthers Stadium.
Didn't even
You can't
answer.
say it. You can't say it.
Panthers.
Picked them for the spoon. Sorry.
Panthers Stadium on Friday night. Panthers against Sharks.
It depends on whether Jimmy Maloney plays or not. Oh, I don't know. Maybe
Actually,
it doesn't.
it
Maybe
doesn't depend on that.
No,
The
no,
Sharks
I think
will
the
win
Sharks
that.
are on a roll. Yeah, the Sharks will win.
You reckon?
Yeah, Matty Moylan's out because the chin that's not on his head is probably half broken.
He's barely touched. It was a love tap.
He's out of the game, Steve.
He's out of the game because of something else that happened, not because of that, because he played straight afterwards and came back on straight afterwards.
Out because of the
Love
chin that
tap.
isn't on his face.
Yeah, as we speak,
Glass
Sam,
jaw.
as we speak, Sam is getting his medicine.
We will see. We will see.
All right, you're going because he's going Panthers.
I'm going Sharks.
Oh, we're all going Sharks.
Sharks. No, I'm going Sharks.
Yeah,
I
we're
said
all
that.
going Sharks. Yeah.
Whether Jimmy's in or not.
Oh,
Oh,
this is worse than woeful.
Call it out.
St George Illawarra against Gold Coast Titans Saturday.
Next
Strata Jubilee.
I think Dragons will win this.
Just they have to, don't
I
they?
keep picking them and they keep losing. I don't know
but
what to do.
They're playing the Titans. I mean, you can basically chalk up every game against the Titans as a loss. Seriously.
Look. Yeah, I agree.
They're just in disarray, sadly. I feel for the Titans players. I mean, they're not performing, but I feel for their psyches now. You know, what's happening to them.
And you're right, it is St George that played them in the last round as well.
Yep.
So St George will get 2 shots of that.
So they won't get the spoon.
St George won't?
No.
No.
So where's this game at?
Let's try the
Netstrata.
Jubilee. I think it's the old Cocker, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cogra.
Yeah.
Just call them by their traditional names.
Yeah.
Cogra.
Yeah, so you're going to make a call?
No, because then I have to call
Yeah,
Brookvale,
Dragons.
Yeah.
Brookvale, not Lotto Land.
Hey, you're a hateful man.
Okay, Bankwest Stadium, Parramatta Eels against Newcastle Knights.
Yeah, I think the Eels will keep rolling. And it's a banquet.
I
Yeah.
can see Newcastle getting this one.
Okay.
Something's got to change. Something's got to turn around for them.
It's not their team. They made a whole raft of changes last week and it didn't work, and they've kept the same bunch of blokes.
No.
Oh, I'm going to go Parramatta at Parramatta.
That's hurt. Okay, let's go.
Janelle, you've got that on record.
Let's go to ANZ Stadium,
Unbiased.
where the Bulldogs are playing the Tigers.
Now this is an interesting matchup.
Yeah.
I don't know who to tip in this one, honestly, because the West Tigers were very good this week, but so were the Dogs.
I think the Tigers got more to play for. I think they'll
Yeah,
get
probably.
I'm going to go the Dogs.
Yeah, I'm tempted to go the Dogs.
Should have won it last week. I will go on this week.
No, not for me.
Ooh.
Tom, you're going
I'm undecided.
on the fence.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, what is being dubbed as Super Sunday.
Yep.
Okay,
Well,
so
half a Super Sunday anyway.
no, because there's a reserve grade and then there's the main game afterwards. So, reserve grade game at GIO Stadium will be Canberra Raiders against the Sydney Roosters.
Raiders will be heavily favoured here, I think. I'll stick solid with my team. I think it'll be a really low-scoring game. Both
Really?
Two,
I think opposite. I think it'll be a high
two
scoring.
very heavily defensive teams. It'll be like a Melbourne Roosters game that was 12-10 or something like that. I reckon it'll be a really low-scoring game.
If it's a really low scoring game, the Roosters will win.
Yeah, I
If
agree.
it's a high scoring game, I think the Raiders will get them.
Mm-hmm. Oh look, I've got no illusions. We could very easily lose this game, but I don't think it means anything in the scheme of the rest of the season. I just don't want to lose our position. That's the main thing.
Oh, look, no team other than Melbourne's going to get minor premiership.
Yeah,
so
but no, I know minor premiership means nothing.
I
Second
think you're
position.
jockeying now for positions.
It's home ground advantage. I don't want to be playing the Raiders at GIO Stadium in the first semi-final.
No.
You know,
But you know what? I don't think it's a bad thing for South to finish fifth and get the home game.
it's his position. He was fifth.
Yeah, I know he does.
No, I'm on the Des train, mate. Don't worry.
You
I
can
see you
take
play
on
Melbourne in
at
Melbourne again.
I'm happy to play. When we beat them at Brookvale to prove it was no fluke.
He beat
Right.
them in Melbourne.
Yeah, we're
Because you're
we're playing them again.
Oh yeah.
So we'll play them. We'll beat them at Brookvale, and then we'll beat them in Melbourne again. I don't care.
Mind you, the fear for me is that South could end up playing the Tigers and then play as bad as they did last week. And
All right.
Yeah.
So you're tipping.
I'm on the Raiders at
Yep,
home.
Yep. I can understand that. Steve.
I think I'm going Raiders as well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
just. I mean, it's
Oh, look,
gonna
it'll be a fantastic game, and it'll give both teams a really good idea where they're at.
Okay. So the match of the round then goes to Central Coast Stadium, where South Sydney Rabbitohs are playing the Melbourne Storm.
How many points do you reckon Melbourne are going to win by?
Oh, 20.
Yeah.
We're talking match of the round here, gentlemen. We're not talking about.
The match of the round was the first game that you called reserve grade,
Yes.
and the second game that would be the Canterbury West game
Yes. Okay, so we're going clearly Melbourne.
by a lot.
No, it won't be by a lot.
Yeah, it will.
You need to bounce back if you've got any credibility.
It
You
will
need
not
to
be
bounce back.
back. Will not be by a lot.
They got nothing.
Yeah.
They peaked 4 weeks ago when they beat Manly by a point.
They will not be by a lot. And in fact, I will be picking South to win this game.
Oh, surprise, surprise. Thanks, Scoop. News flash.
Steve picks. Well, it's a hard pick for Steve because it's his first team and his second team.
True,
so-
that is true. Yes.
No.
Like he doesn't. He actually had to really make a heartfelt decision.
Yeah, that's right.
Bunnies will,
I think he wore that jersey tonight to remind himself.
Yeah.
I know.
What colour am I wearing? That's
Yeah.
right.
Oh, Bunnies. I'm going Bunnies. Yeah.
Bunnies will win.
Nope.
Now let me tell you, Bunnies will win by 5.
5.
5.
It's interesting.
And you know what? I'm actually going to ask Sally. Sally, every time you pick against Melbourne, Melbourne lose. So can you please pick South this week and do me a favour?
He's got no hope, has he?
I got nothing.
And Sally picked against Melbourne the other night, against Broncos, and she picked the Dogs. We're the only one to pick the Dogs.
Yeah.
No.
What's doing, Sally?
I know. All right. Let's end the show. Brian, anything intelligent you want to end with?
Yeah, I'm be happy to be in 4th place at the end of this round. Thank you.
I said intelligent. Tom?
Look, it'll be a cracker of a game. We're all going to watch them together.
Yeah,
Watch both games
come over to
together?
my place and we'll watch them together.
Yeah, we have to. Be great.
Yeah.
And Brendan's probably coming
Yeah.
too. So, Yeah, look, should be fantastic. I think either way, it's
Yeah,
gonna
we could
be
even do
a
the show
great
straight
Sunday.
after.
We could.
Well, actually,
Brendan could be
No.
a guest host.
Oh my goodness. I know this is boring everyone out there because it's boring me.
it's not supposed to bore you. You're here. You're part of the excitement.
I've made my comment. I'm happy to be in 4th place after the end of this round.
Yeah, and he's not talkative at all anytime.
No, not at all. All right, well, look, thank you all for watching. This is NRL from the Sidelines with Tom, Brian and Steve. And enjoy your week, enjoy your weekend, and we'll do it all again next week.
Don't
Thanks for
forget to
watching.
like the YouTube. Like
the YouTube.
Yes.
Like.
Bye.